So commercial or modeling, you can go to an agency, get headshots done, talk to an agent at an agency, get your child signed up. I mean, it's a little, in my opinion, I feel like it's a little bit easier with the younger, with, younger kids versus an adult. Younger kids are always needed for stuff. You got your little kid commercials. It could be about Cheerios, whatever it is. So that's where I would go. I would even call. They can look up agencies here. Let's say in Denver, for example. I know they have Wilhelmina, they have Donna Baldwin, Big Fish. I know they have the Block Agency, Eden. So they can call them up. They can talk to them. You know, and kind of take that path, and the agent can always direct them as well on what they need to do for their child. So that's another good step. For adults, again, it's based off of what do you want? Do you just want to model? That's one thing. If you want film and television, then yeah, you need to tack on the acting classes and the headshots and get yourself signed up on Actors Access and casting networks. Those are probably the first steps there. So
Appreciate the run through. Obviously, there's a lot of steps, and there's also different routes someone can take. Um, Now, for you, how is it like to balance being a mom, wife, and still remain focused on your overall acting career? Kind of juggling, multiple things there.
okay, oh boy, I could throw a lot out there on that question. I'm gonna keep it simple. It is a juggling act. I tell you what, I'm a full-time employee still, full-time mom, and I think it's difficult, but it's doable. If people learn, if they prioritize um, their life, it can be done. Um, it I don't have the big outdoor life. I don't go out, I don't hang out. Once a month, me and a group of actor friends, we all get together, eat, and have a good time and chit chat for the night. We do that once a month, but that's because we all know we're busy. you know and I'm the type of person, I'll throw so much on my plate and I'll get overwhelmed. So now I'm at a point in my life where I'm removing stuff off my plate and I'm just keeping all the things that are top priority to me. So my family, my acting career, my 9 to 5. I still do a 9 to 5, and anything else that I do on the side, like my personal training certification, things like that. Take care of home. As mom, what do? We budget, we clean, we cook, we're nursing, or nursing our kids if they're sick, or you're dealing with your kid who wants to go driving 24/7 because he's trying to get his license. You're juggling all of that. you know. So and my husband, he's a full-time student in Full Sail, down based out of Florida. So he's learning a lot about cinematography and all that other stuff, and how to direct his own films and things like that. So it's amazing. It's just amazing the things that we got going on in here. But it's a task. I think it's just prioritizing. It's figuring out what you want, and you have to say no to a lot of things, and sometimes you have to say no to a lot of people, because if you start including so much into your life, you will overwhelm yourself, and then you'll think, well, acting's not important because you know um, I'm stressed out, and that usually will be the first to go for probably some people. Like, oh, acting has to go. I'm not making money off of it, so let it go. Well, money money don't come right away. You got to work for free sometimes. If you
Yeah.
want footage, reels, to put that together, because you can't prove that you can act if you don't get no footage. So starting off in like student films and things like that, that's where I started off. So it's been a juggle. I had to go to New Mexico for 2.5 months, and my husband, he held the fort. With all 3 kids. So I went out there, shot a film that actually will be. I mean, I was I. Let me backtrack here for a second. So I was on the project, on the set of The Harder They Fall, and I chose to go as a background. First time I ever been background in my life, but because I wanted to experience a Netflix production. So that's why I did it. So that is another thing I probably should have tacked on for those who are probably starting off. If Pick a background, take an extra role, take a background role, and experience what it's like to be on set, to see the cameras, hear them say, camera, sound, hear them go off, action, so they know the cues and the blocking and all that other stuff. So that is another good thing to start with those who are interested in getting in with film and television. So,
So this is a Netflix production.
correct.
It's just at The Harder They Fall.
It is The Harder They Fall. I'm not sure if it's coming out in August, but I do know they are in the post-production stages of it. So.
Oh, that's a great look, great opportunity. Now, Miss Evans, like, what was your mindset going in? Like, were you more nervous than usual? Were you, like tense coming in, or what was like your frame of mind when you were going out there to New Mexico for this?
Going out there, I went out there with some friends of mine as well, because he's like a brother to me, known him since junior high. He does stunts for movies, and so and I'll remind me to give you a little backstory on how I started because of him. But he's the one who had called and said, "Hey, let's go," and I'm like, "All right." So submitted for it, got it, went out there, and we got to be a part of it. So, and this was during the shutdown, so it was one of the films that just started during the shutdown for Netflix. So it was really nice to start seeing something start happening production wise during the shutdown. So, and I wanted to work. Everything was closed down. I'm like, I just want to work, So I did it. Went down there. I wasn't nervous at all. I mean, some people can be, especially when you don't know nobody. You come down there. I drove down there because New Mexico's 5.5 hours away from us. So I drove down there. Yeah. So it's an easy drive, straight shot. But I wasn't nervous at all, because I've done films prior to. Just this was the first time I ever done background, but I was excited because it was a Netflix production. So that I was more excited than nervous than anything.
I'm excited just listening to it.
It was great. They followed the COVID protocols, and everybody we stayed in a long-term hotel. So it was nice. Everybody had their own room, and it just felt great. It felt great to be on set. And, we had to wear a mask the whole time. We had to take about 3 to 4 COVID tests a week, just, to really stay on top of everybody. But it was, I would tell you without a shadow of a doubt, it was the best experience. Even though I chose to be background, it was the best experience ever. So it was, I think if people really want to experience, just do background at least once, just to experience.
So that's definitely something to add to one's portfolio or acting resume.
Well, see, the thing about background and extra work, if you have nothing on your resume, like you have no films, nothing that you've worked as a principal or a lead or a support role, you could put that on there until you start picking up roles that are supporting or lead. Then you would have to remove it because extra and background is typically not supposed to be on your resume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you share that with us. You learned something new again.
Well, and my biggest advice on if you want to start with a speaking role, student films. They happen all the time, like in Denver, the Colorado Film School. They post things all the time about how they're filming stuff. They posted on Galena's page, was what we have here, Casting Colorado page. They do post it on those their Facebook pages, by the way. So you can go on there, you can see them post stuff all the time. They have the breakdowns on there, what they're looking for, email them, submit for it. That's where we all started off, or a good majority of us started off as, doing those student films. And then you just, when you figure out from that point, like, okay, I don't need to do no more student films, I'm going to start submitting to other stuff, then you do, you just gradually start doing other things and grow from there.
Excellent. Now, Miss Evans, what if there was like a movie coming together and they haven't come up with a plot or anything? Give me 4 actors and 1 director that you would like to do a movie with.
Oh,
Put you on the spot. We always got to put somebody on the spot on Heavy Brand Podcast.
Michael Bay, first off, because I'm a major
Transformers.
fan. Actors, I and I don't know if Michael Bay would ever, but Colin Farrell was one. I don't know why. Will Ferrell, Denzel Washington, and of course Viola. I don't even know why I would put them four in a movie, because that would be the oddest thing to do, because you got two serious actors, and then you got, well, Colin Farrell, he's okay. I think he's more subtle, in my opinion. I feel like he could be subtle, but then he could be crazy. But Will Ferrell he's a spotlight for me, because I'm a goofball and I love Will Ferrell. I'm a total Will Ferrell fan. But they're my favorite actors. So if I could anyway somehow put all four of them in a movie together, I will find a way.
And for our young viewers, one thing that I picked up on is you picked actors and actresses that are versatile.
Very.
Like when they switch roles, you don't see them as the person, you see the character that they're playing.
Yes.
So that's pretty interesting how you pick some versatile actors.
Colin Farrell's probably not everybody's first pick, but I followed him for a little while. But those people would probably pick something different, like Angelina Jolie or Brad Pitt, but those are your normal actors. But Colin Farrell, I just feel like he's more of a quiet. He's like back there. I haven't seen him in a while, so I'm like, where's he been? But I like it. I like his acting style. He's really good.
Now you have a similar fitness or personal training background. What are some of the benefits of staying fit as it pertains to acting?
It is important. It's important as long as it's important to you. I wouldn't do it if you feel like it's important to somebody else. There's that, it's a self-love thing. People, and I'm not gonna lie, this industry could be very superficial, but it's important to be healthy mentally than it physically, obviously, yes, but it's mentally, because this field, an actor, you put on so much stress already, dealing with rejection, things like that. But you got to learn to let that's the number one thing, is you got to learn to let that go. So if you have a healthy mind and you say, okay, I did that audition, I'm gonna let it go, and you chop it off there. You don't worry about whether you get it or not. You just move on to the next, and you just keep going, because that's the job, that's the work. But a lot of people will stop and they'll dwell, and and they'll think, oh my God, I got to eat a salad, I got to be skinny, or I got to be this. And it's like, no, you don't. Because now all the time, do they want a skinny woman to play the mom? If you have 5 skinny women in one movie being a mom, it's like, how realistic is that? How are you really attaching to your audience? And that's the most important thing, is attach to your audience. If a woman is feeling like, oh my God, I'm not skinny enough, but you see the woman on the TV and she's not skinny, you're gonna relate. That makes you feel good, that you're like, okay, I know I'm a woman, I know that's realistic. So it is very important to be, healthy, period, because you just want to live a long lasting life. Obviously, I'm sure you've seen, yeah, healthy life, mentally and physically. And I know you've seen, basically on my page, I was a part of the NPC bodybuilding community here in
That
Colorado.
physique modeling, was it?
I'm sorry?
Was it physique modeling?
I was
What
fitness.
class?
I
Okay.
wasn't physique, but I did do figure. I did do figure. And when I first started off, gun ho, did it, was happy about a lot of things, but afterwards, it played a very bad, let's just go this way, mentally, it was bad for me. It got to a point where I felt like I couldn't eat a banana.